Good morning and thanks for staying with us. The hashtag on X is Citizen DayBreak. The SMS code is 22422 at Citizen TV Kenya and at Ayub Abdikadir. This morning on the broadcast, we'll be looking at the state of the counties, and with me in studio as we await the arrival of the chairperson of the Intergovernmental Relations and the County Assemblies Forum Secretary General, the Deputy Governor of Machakos County is with us in studio, Francis Mwangangi. Good morning.
Good morning.
Many thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Many thanks for your time. We are joined from Wajir County as well by the Council of Governors Chairperson and Wajir County Governor Ahmed Abdullahi. We'll be linking up with him shortly here on the broadcast, and we welcome your contributions this morning to look at what's happening across our counties and the devolved system of governance by extension. Bwana DG, a lot has happened, including the appearance of governors before the Committee on Accountability this week, including what happened yesterday and the day before. But first, what's your account of where we are since this system of governance first kick-started?
First and foremost, I will be very dishonest if I say there is any part of this country that has not been impacted positively by devolution. That said, is not to say there are no also other silly things that might have happened along the way. But those ones, if they are, can be dealt within and have been dealt within the confines of the law. I think devolution so far has done well despite the challenges. That will be my take. Has done extremely well. When we are talking about inclusivity, many parts of this country before devolution could be said to be not part of Kenya in terms of development. Even we had some groupings that were saying this region, see Kenya, wengine, our is too drought, is too this and that, does not deserve development in but evenly, even as I continue insisting that whatever we are sending to counties is too little, I say there is something that is happening across this country.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. We'll talk about the resources and also the role of the Senate. Also, with that comes accountability. But first, let's get hold of the Council of Governors Chairperson and Wajir County Governor Ahmed Abdullahi, who joins us from Wajir County. Governor, good morning and many thanks for making time for the broadcast. You are the pioneer governor of Wajir County, now serving your second term, and as well the chairperson of the Council of Governors. Tell us from where you sit whether the devolved system of governance has addressed Kenya's intractable and deep-seated challenges post-independence.
Thank you, Ayub. Good morning to you and the people with you in the studio. That's a question that will take a long time to answer. Really, I'm not sure I can answer that in this interview. I think devolution has done its bit. In a nutshell, yes, it has done its bit to foster inclusivity, to try and get some semblance of balanced development with respect to basic services across the country. And I've heard the previous speaker there with you say that, yes, it's taken economic activity and services to places that were initially, quote-unquote, marginalized, and places like mine where I am now. But there are, of course, issues as to whether we've really been, very honest and sincere in the implementation of devolution. And this is from the very onset in 2013 when we, for the first time, operationalized devolved governments. So I think I'll leave it at that. But yes, a lot has been achieved, but a lot more could be achieved if we were, all of us, a lot more sincere in implementation of devolution, strictly with the letter and the spirit of the Constitution and the law.
Okay. And one thing, as also mentioned by the Deputy Governor, Mr. Chairman, and you have as well talked about so consistently, is the resource allocation, which in your view is still a drop in the ocean to match the level of exclusion that also the Francis Mwangangi here, the Deputy Governor, talked about. What should then happen here, given the resources allocated to the counties, which you, the Council of Governors, have decried as not matching up what's expected to address some of the deep-rooted problems that have been experienced across counties in the country?
I think generally there is agreement across political divide that we are not allocating sufficient resources to counties to deal with functions that are devolved and transferred. And why do I say this? We are now approaching, if not already in the middle of the campaigneering period, and you will see that every political party and every presidential candidate will be promising how they will be increasing resources to counties, and you'll be hearing percentages such as 35% of the budget, 40%, 45%. In other jurisdictions such as ours, where there is an arrangement between national and subnational, and I have in mind Nigeria and South Africa, for instance, 45% of the current year's budget goes to the subnationals, and 55 is what is retained at the national. In our case, on the basis of current year budget, we're still talking about 10%. Of course, the figures will be done in such a way as to say, based on the last audited and approved accounts, but those ones are very historical. You now see that the Senate is considering, through its Public Accounts Committee, audited accounts of 2024-2025. Yet, when it comes to the division of revenue, what's being used is 3-4 years back. So you are made to account on the basis of what's current, largely, but you're being given money on the basis of what is 3 years in arrears, because the consideration and approval of those audited accounts is done by the National Assembly. It's not in our hands as counties. But a cleaner way of sharing resources, frankly, would have been on the basis of current year's budget. And I think the framers of our Constitution do not anticipate that audits will be 3 years in arrears. So the resources are definitely not sufficient. There is also a lot of duplication.
Okay.
Because these resources, we are told, because of debt, we are in a situation where we can't add more, we're dealing with public debt. It is not the case, because there is a lot of resources being expended in our counties by all manner of peripheral, national government agencies, which agencies should have been dissolved with the advent of devolution. Really, you'll find some agency spending more budget on water, for instance, in one of my constituencies than the entire budget that I have for water for the whole county. It's not fair, and it's not what devolution anticipated.
Okay. We'll get back to you, Chairperson. Also, we are joined in studio by the Secretary General of the County Assemblies Forum and Ngara Ward representative here in Nairobi County, Honorable Moro Chege. Good morning.
Good morning.
Appreciated.
Thank you for having me.
Many thanks for your time.
Thank you.
And we'll talk about the role of the county assemblies, equally very instrumental in the devolved system of governance as envisioned in our constitutional dispensation. Yes, Bonadiji, you had a point. Please proceed.
I tend to agree with my senior chair that currently we need to avoid duplication. I'm sure devolution exists to ensure, first and foremost, there is no duplication of the role of national government and the counties as far as nation building is concerned. Now, as it is at the moment, you will not be surprised that the county plans to do a water project in point A. But next in point B, a similar one is taking place by national government. If we can do away with all this, we will have effectiveness, we will have efficiency, we will have a faster growing country, and we will create jobs and wealth for this country. Secondly, I think, allow me to say this, I'm not sure if the current administration is keen on devolution. Actually, if we continue the way we are continuing, I will say here, devolution will be dead in very few years to come. We will have nothing to talk about devolution in Kenya. Why am I saying this? The Constitution talks about at least 15% to go to devolved governments. But the current administration and my chairman, the Council of Governors chairman, is a money man by profession. The current administration does it a way that if you calculate keenly what remains at national level vis-a-vis what is going to counties is literally around 8%. It's not even 10%. And you can see national government officials talking about how they are devolving resources, how they have done this. Yet, so many functions, particularly that concern the citizens, are devolved. When you talk of water, look at what is happening in northern Kenya. What are you expecting those leaders to do without resources? We are expecting anything that touches on humanity, agriculture, roads, feeder roads at the village level. All that is under the perfume of the county governments. But it is like currently there are competition on who does what, who is seen to be working, who is seen to be pro-people, which to me is not necessary. What is necessary is our country. And I agree with the words of the one-time president, US President, J.F. Kennedy, when he said, he told Americans, seek not what that benefits you, but that ask yourself, what is this you are doing to Americans? To America as a country. So in this case, if we focus on the country, the whole of Kenya, these kind of competitions are unnecessary.
All right. Honorable Mohora, good morning again.
Morning.
What Katiba envisions is the county assemblies to be the first layer of watchdog and oversight at the county level in bringing representation closer to the people. Even as we talk about resource allocation and the unbundling of the functions, the breaching of the clear blue waters between the roles of the national government and the counties, are the county assemblies also an effective oversight in holding the county executives across the 47 units to account?
Yeah, thank you. Again, thank you for having me. Number one, your question is very timely because sometime last year, I think when we were doing the devolution conference, His Excellency the President signed into law the financial autonomy or bill.
Homa Bay County.
Yeah, in Homa Bay, where the law was supposed to separate the monies that come to the counties, the chunk that goes to the executive and the other one that goes to the assembly, as an effective way of ensuring that oversight is not hampered by way of us asking resources from the executive. To date, and that law was supposed to be operational from 1st of October, the Treasury, National Treasury, gave us guidelines on how to go and operationalize those accounts by opening accounts at Central Bank of Kenya. About 5 counties are the ones who have been able to do that because maybe of the resistance between the executive and the county assemblies within the counties. And so that can be one of the issues that is hampering, whereby, however small, the chunk that goes to the assemblies, we need not to be going through CC Finance for purposes of getting funding for the assemblies and doing our role separately. That is number one. Number two, in terms of oversight, and we have done that from the 47 county public accounts committee chairs that are there as a first layer. And the second layer being the Senate. You find that the timelines like now, where all the reports have been brought to the Assembly, we are opening next week. And then now you start the scrutiny process. So being able to run effectively and oversight these counties without the necessary funding of doing the activities and going to see if these projects were actually done is a bit hampering. And so it's work in progress. However, it's a bit slow, but we would expect that support from the executive to allow us to do our job as at that level. And then also from the national level, maybe from the next financial year moving forward, that no monies should go to the counties if that separation is not in place, because that is the law. And so that needs to be very clear as we move forward, so that we can stop the blame game between the executive and the assembly at that level. Now, the other laws also that are held at the parliament, both houses of parliament. I'll give you one example. There's a law that is supposed to anchor County Assemblies Forum, the Council of Governors, and the IGRTC, the Intergovernmental Relations and Technical Committee, who's the chair, I think is supposed to be a panelist. That law started from the Senate and is now supposed to be, is a bicameral style of, it has to be passed by both houses. So Senate has finished its bit, it is on the national level, in the National Assembly level. National Assembly says, since it's a money bill, according to Article 109, it should have originated from the National Assembly, not from the Senate. Other way, But then the Senate is also arguing, whatever monies we are talking about are all part of the devolved funds. So are you saying that the law is, so we are caught in between the sibling rivalry between the Senate and the National Assembly, hampering us from moving forward. And so these kinds of gray areas in law need to be unlocked so that COG, IGRTC, County Assemblies Forum, secretariats are able to operate because they do technical work. Forget about us doing political work. They do technical work which is supposed to now check progress and track if we're on the right track and be able to talk to Kenyans and tell them where the specific areas of devolution are. And as we go on, it's able to cumulatively say, what are we doing? So those kinds of gridlocks are the ones that are also not helping us move the country forward as far as devolution is concerned.
Thank you. Gentlemen, stay with us. When we get back from the break here on the broadcast, we have an hour to still examine a lot, including the Senate and the 2026-27 financial year, and the unbundling of the functions and the technical players that you have talked about and the role they do play in further entrenching the devolved system of governance. The governor joining us from Wajir, also in studio, the Deputy Governor Machakos County, Francis Mwangangi, and the Secretary General of the County Assemblies Forum. After the break, we'll be joined by the Chairperson of the Intergovernmental Technical Relations Committee, Kithenji Kiragu, who is already in studio with us. All that is after the break here on the broadcast. Stay tuned.